Avalon, a heist in Vinigovia. Does anyone remember everything that happened a month ago?
Lots of
I'll give
explosions.
it a shot.
Hit it.
Hooray. Okay, where did the last one start? Because we did the
Hello.
going to the fancy guy's house and going
That
to
is
his
where it
wine
started.
basement.
We fancy guy, the Viscount Basingstoke.
Yes, we went to his home, outside of which, somewhat adjacently, there was a protest going on. Because the spider and bug, or just spider? Spider
The
people.
Anansi. They're an insectoid race of all varieties.
The arthropod people were very upset about the government hiding their ancestral home for them, which is apparently in the pillar where the rich people live, and something indigenous people rights.
In particular, they say that their ancestral home was the Underdark, or as it's known as Avalon, Agartha.
Agartha.
So yeah, they're upset because apparently it's maybe being revealed that Agartha is inside of the rich people pillar, and literally built upon the, ancestral lands, etc., etc. And some earthquake shit has been maybe revealing that. Also, there's been earthquakes. Blah, 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 names of people. Our little spider dude attempted to infiltrate and get some information, then we got him out of there, and then we went into the rich place with the fancy guy who's a bird.
You were called in, yes.
Apparently some other people got there before us, pretending to maybe be us, or sent by the people that we were sent by, which is that scary smokehead man. And so we went down to go confront those people into a fancy wine cellar, where we were requested to please not destroy all the wine, and did a decent job of not doing that.
Yes, yes.
They were a gang that wore stripes and yellow and black.
Yeah. I don't know I don't remember if it was stripes, but it was yellow and black.
Yeah. And we did some tactical things to start kicking their butts, and then it turns out the one we targeted first was actually a vampire, and he went freaking feral after we did enough damage.
Yeah, he lost too much blood, and he went feral.
I almost died.
And seeing
you did almost die, Weber.
Yeah, there was some shit going on. It definitely was biting Weber a bunch, but seeing their supposed comrade turn into a creature of the night, the other gang members were not cool with that, and actually helped us dispatch said person.
That's right.
And we just sort of let them go after asking them some questions about what the fuck was going on.
Yep.
And then we finally got to meet the person we were supposed to talk to, who was getting accosted by another vampire in a separate room, but dispatched it pretty decently with a rocket launcher.
That is right. He blew that motherfucker to pieces.
Also, that person was a turtle.
Yes.
Just another day in paradise.
Yes, and the turtle told us about this heist that we've been definitely hearing about and supposed to be doing this whole time on account of the name of this campaign.
We were building up to it. This is session 2. We've reached what session 2 was supposed to be.
So basically, there's a big magical vault that has all the cool magical treasure that a cool magical thief accumulated during their magical thief campaign.
This is, yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to recall any specific names of stuff because it's been a month, but I'm still definitely getting all of this correct. And
everything you've said is true. There may be details missing, but everything you've said is true.
I'm doing the framework. You can fill in the blanks when I'm done.
Sure.
So this magical vault got discovered by all the other criminals, but they can't get in it and are sort of auctioning it off to whoever becomes the boss of all of the criminals. Question mark? Something like that. And we are being tasked with getting a specific thing out of the vault, which will take some infiltrating of this conflagration of criminal gangs as they reshuffle themselves and decide who gets the big pot of treasure. And we were given some tools to do that, and some tips, and some information about what the thing was, which I don't remember.
Yep, as it gets deeper in, I was expecting less details to be recalled.
I think I did pretty good.
I think you did fairly well. Let me do a quick quiz for the others to see if anyone else can recall. Can you remember the 2 tools that Alfred, your what did I call them? Galapagons? Your Galapagan employer
Raises my hand.
give you? Does anyone else remember the 2 tools you were given?
No clue.
Raises my hand.
Strap-on in a vibrator?
You'll actually have to acquire those yourself in preparation for the heist. Yeah, all right, Kat, what were the tools?
One of them was an emergency exit, like the
It
one we have in the
was.
other campaign that you can use to, like, immediately get out of a place with a certain amount of people or stuff.
It is a variant on the emergency exit, the Marrymore emergency exit. It is a...
Oh yeah, we found out a bunch of stuff about Marrymore too, didn't we?
It's a rare prototype. It's able to transport objects along with the person or persons.
Also, Storm, how dare you? It was obvious. It was obvious.
The other one was for if we need to get the thing that the thing is locked in out of there as well. So a bigger thing. But I don't remember what it was.
It was an item that you've encountered in the Avalonian setting before.
Oh, yeah, the thing is a shadow vault. But that's not the answer to the question.
That is not the answer to the question. But yeah. I was gonna see if anyone wanted to answer that question. I was gonna say, is there anything special about where the heist is taking place? The answer is yes. It's a shadow vault.
I'm sorry, Gypsy. We only take answers in the form of questions.
So the other tool that was given to you by Alfred is a small sphere. A small spherical object with spatial compression magic that functions like a Pokeball. You can press the sphere against a large object, and it will take that object into a demi-plane, at which point the sphere has to be broken to let the object back out.
Nifty.
It should work for something. It should work for something at least 10 foot by 10 foot. So.
Hopefully this thing that we're getting back is, and I don't remember what the thing is. Maybe like a shiny crystal or an important religious object or...
So...
Yeah, I don't remember.
So it's a mystery. They're calling it now, you can call it the score, but it is the Phantom Thief's Trove. The Phantom Thief was the first performance criminal, dating back probably about 70, 80 years in the past from now. And
he was doing it before it was cool.
He made the game. He didn't just change the game, he created the game that everyone is still dancing dancing the steps to today. And there were a lot of famous capers and trophies that he took that never turned up in, the black market or ever resurfaced in the world. And it's probably believed that all of those would be encased in this big vault. And the implication is that the vault has been found. Information from your employer points to verifying that this is true, that it was found, and that for some reason, the criminal organizations in Vinigovia have all found it close to the same time and are currently in a sort of stalemate in which none can attempt to retrieve the vault without the others interfering, which is leading to the organization of an event that you've heard of. You've heard tall tales about this. I think anyone who's been a criminal in Vinigovia, especially around Elyich, has probably heard of a black auction. Black auctions are not totally uncommon. They are simply like a black market, but where people that have valuable things sell them to other people that are interested in them. It's just traditionally, these are art pieces or, you know, traditionally a black auction is held for things that are not easily turned into liquidated, so to speak. This is on a different scale entirety from even the mythical black auctions that you would have heard of. You probably might have guessed that those were just exaggerations, you know, folk tales of all the dangerous criminals in the world gathering together to covet ill-gotten gains. But apparently, not only is there truth to it, but you're about to have to get in the middle of one of the biggest ones. Oh, let's see. Is there anything else you missed from last session?
Raise my hand.
Oh, hold on. For once I heard an that wasn't cat.
Yes. Nearing the end, I don't remember her name, but we were infiltrated or something or other by a certain lady that wanted in on the score.
So Alfred informed you that you had a co-employer, that there were two individuals going together to organize this heist, and they needed the manpower for the job. You met the first, Alfred, who was providing the financial backing for this endeavor, and had a surface level understanding of the events. But there was a second employer, and that one would have more details for you about the specifics of the plan. But before we do that, one second. There we go. There's the page.
I do still have a question.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
We're stealing just a thing within the vault. Yes.
You've been asked to retrieve the contents of the vault and make sure they don't fall into this group's hands.
So the entirety of the contents, and not just this one thing that they're after?
Yes.
So
The
we're
thing is, they
stealing the
don't-
whole ass vault.
The thing is, they're not sure which things are in the vault, and there are a few things that they should not be allowed to have if they are real and exist.
Okay. So this isn't a Aladdin situation where we're just getting the lamp.
This is not an Aladdin situation where you're just getting the lamp. It might be.
And
if you open it up.
And we also can't, like, take our pick from any other things that they don't want.
I think the important thing is that these objects don't fall into the wrong hands.
Well, who's to say who's the wrong and the right hands and which one is our hands?
Your employer is saying that the criminal organizations that are currently vying for the trove are the wrong hands.
Well, we're not one of those.
No,
We're
you're
doing a
not. You're
different
certainly
thing.
not. That's interesting.
What a bunch of dirty thieves. We don't know what you're talking about.
So this is more of like a general, there's a lot of stuff in here and we don't think the crime people should have it, rather than there's a thing in here we definitely want to have the crime people not have and we want us to have, and the rest of it is just like ancillary.
Alfred was a little vague on why.
Gotcha.
That's all I'll say about that. Alfred was a little, not, I don't know if it was because you guys didn't ask, or because he didn't have enough information for you, but...
Fair. I just vaguely recall leaving the situation with a vague assessment of...
You remembered, I remember you recalled that one thing it is said that the Phantom Thief might have stolen was the Angelican Grail that can cure any disease by drinking the water
yes,
from
I would
it.
definitely be interested in that.
It's one of those fables of the panacea and the like throughout recorded history.
It's a lead.
It's a lead. Man, I just want to jump right into the present. Okay.
Exit turtles, stage left. Enter lady, also stage left.
Exit turtle.
Because there's
stage
only one
left.
door.
That's true. Except he took an emergency exit out of there.
Oh, never mind.
He vanished. But that all happened very quickly right near the end. Let's get things started today with just a little bit of fun. Oh, there it is. The curtain draws... Oh. Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. The curtain draws open on the next session of our Vinigovian heist. A brilliant flashing of light turns to thunder and crashing rain as we turn back time a handful of years. An indeterminate amount of years. Because Storm doesn't dwell on the details, and neither will I. Paleo. I'm not sure how old your character is.
That's a good question.
But, I'm guessing you're on the younger side. So as we jump back further in time, we're going to step back to a time before you had awakened to your druidic power. A time when you were still with your family.
Oh.
Yeah. Tell me about your parents and your siblings.
Well, naturally, as a kobold, there were a great many siblings.
Yeah.
Names of who
Your
are...
clutch.
Yeah,
So to speak.
our clutch. put me right on the spot here.
I'm not going to put you on the spot for names. You don't have to ascribe names, but how many siblings do you have? Remember that you're a modern kobold, not one of the... Not an ancient example of a kobold.
You're right, so I should only roll a d12.
Yeah.
Roll. 9.
Okay. Oh, boy. Grab a pen and write this down. 9 siblings you have. Do you still have both your father and your mother?
Let's roll. Let me grab 2d10s.
Roll for orphan.
Low,
Roll
low,
for
no,
orphan.
high, yes. Mouse is fucking up a little bit. Oh shoot! I wish I made that
A 0. A D3 minus 0.
Here we go.
2d10.
So 2 and 10. That would be. If a second. That'd be 21. So, Dad is dead.
Wow.
What about Mama?
Wow. Storm has really...
And 55. Mom's still around. Probably why I have so many siblings.
Yeah.
Are you calling your mother a loose woman?
Most kobolds are.
That's... I don't know how to respond to that, Storm.
Hey man, that's just lore.
I guess.
That's just classic. That's just classic D&D. Have you read the Dracopedia?
That's just lizards.
That's just lizards.
Mama was a clutch matron. She makes sure all the eggs hatch.
Yeah, it is in the evening. Shadow has fallen over Vinigovia. You are, for personal reasons, for whatever reason, you and your clutch mates, led by your mother, are walking through the Noble Square. Maybe on your way to somewhere else. Maybe on your way to one of the local museums. Maybe just crossing through from one quarter to another. But
it's fantasy England. We're all on our way to the coal mines.
You're on your way to the coal mines to pick up a few more of your siblings from the coal mines. They've been working overtime. When a siren blares through the chill night air. Unfortunately, Paleo, it is the second night of the first year of the Great War. The Elya'ich Blitz. The time when Red Leaf had bomber planes and made a blitzkrieg assault against Vinigovia's capital.
Oh.
Destruction rained down on the city for the full span of almost 2 weeks. We descend upon this dark, stormy night, piercing through clouds, darkening the sky. And we move through the clouds to see the crown rise, thrusting out over billowing fog, protected by divine shields and protective sphere-casted barriers, dotting a well-organized perimeter. Regiments of crusaders and lamplighters stand vigilant. Both the armies of Vinigovia and the armies of the Anglican Church, the standing crusader army of the Anglican Church, stand stalwart with anti-aircraft guns firing down on the planes. The few that brave attempts at assaults at this most prestigious of targets. But these are merely harrying forces. You see, Red Leaf has crafty strategists. They know better than to assault a well-fortified, high position head-on. Numerous planes use the very Knight's Curtain itself to fly low and hide from anti-aircraft guns that could have been mounted to defend the lower quarters of the city from an assault. So imagine, if you will, a foggy night, thunder blaring, rain pouring. But on top of the fog, you hear the blare of sirens and the hum of mechanical beasts. Vehicles carrying death and destruction, invisible to your eye, but soaring above you, this way and that. The moment is the citizens of the city are gripped by panic. Your family is being protected by a local adventurer, a soul goblin in a three-piece suit with a bowler hat.
Nice.
He's trying to lead you among the fighting. Bombs fall, buildings turn into rubble and so much splintered wood. A civilian militia with very few lamplighters to spare for the citizens below organizes itself in order to try to protect what lives they can. Most of the people that live in the noble quarter and the wealthier people from the other quarters have already been evacuated to the Crown Rise. The rest of you have essentially been left to your own devices, whatever those are. Gunfire, unluckily, hails down the alley in which you and your family are currently sheltering. I would like you to make a fate roll.
Okay.
That is on your dice tray, the second of the two buttons labeled duality roll. The command is /FR.
So the second one?
Yeah. That should give you the command /FR.
Okay. And then roll?
Yeah, give me a fate roll, please.
Why is my mouse not working? Come on. Click. Roll? Go ahead. Rolling that abacus. A 10!
Okay. On a 10, Bullets rain down on the street. The Soul Goblin leaps to your defense and conjures a ward, a sphere casting protective magic that shields the majority of your family and some other families that he's attempting to escort to a shelter, to the basement of a nearby building. But one of your siblings is struck in the leg. They fall to the ground, collapsing in a cry. Red blood paints the street and is leaking quickly. But she seems to be in shock. What do you do in this situation? Are your first instincts self-preservation? To freeze, to fight, or to flee? Think about a younger Paleo, without his magic, seeing this chaos unfold around him. What is his instinct and reaction?
You gave me 4 options there.
Mm-hmm. And there's more. You can do whatever you think your character would do.
That's a toughie right there. He's a kobold that doesn't understand social cues. So he would typically do the opposite of what a kobold would normally do, which is self-preservation. So, we're going to go on back. Paleo is going to go and help his downed relative, his downed sister.
Sure, how would you like to help her?
Without his magic. Let's see here.
You could try
He's
to
going
pick her up
to-
and pull her into cover. You could try to find some kind of cloth to tie up her wound and treat her.
Immediately, that's a little above his thinking. He will at least carry her on his back. Big safe area is where the goblin is leading us.
That's right. He stands still and he calls to you, "Over here! Bring her here now! I need a damn healer! Where are the clerics?"
As Paleo will wander over towards his sibling and hoist them up onto his back.
I need you to make a strength roll.
Okay. These are his best stats.
Yeah.
He is historically good at
open up.
these.
He's historically good at these.
In
We're,
that
we're
he's
actually
never-
going to establish if he's historically good at these right now in his history.
In that he's actually never had to roll the strength roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's historically good at them. He's just so good he doesn't have to roll.
Come on, open up. Why is it not? There we go. Okay. Strength roll. Coming up. Oh, okay. He's not terrible at these. He's got a 0.
Yeah, he's flat.
So whatever.
It's a flat. It is what it is.
A
13 with fear.
13 with fear.
I will immediately spend that fear. You succeed.
Wait, how did I get a 13?
A 3 and a
If a
10.
D-
You got a 3 on your hope, a 10 on your fear, which adds up to 13.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And your fear die was higher, much higher than your hope die.
No, I was thinking on terms of ability modifiers. I was like, how did I get a 13 if I only get a 0? And I... Never mind.
You roll because dice are 2d12.
Yeah. It's
a 2d12
just
system.
started back to D20.
You did real. Yeah, it's a fairly good roll. I actually have a new table that I want to use here because of this. 13 with fear. That's a success with fear. This little chart that I found wants me to roll. +5. Let's see here. 12, huh? Okay, so you grab your little sister. You haul her up on your back. She's screaming and crying, but she clings to you. Paleo. She calls your name. And you begin running back in the direction of the soul goblin. Further down the alley, you can see the rest of your family already moving. Further ahead, your other siblings, with their kobold culture of self-preservation, are trying to scatter every which way, and Mom is doing her best to keep them all packed together as a clutch rather than letting them scatter to the winds. And she turns back to see two of her children falling behind. She pauses, looking at the ones she's trying to keep under control here, looking back at you with fear, and she sees you rise to the occasion. You bring your sister back, but as you do, tragedy strikes. War crimes are about to occur today. Something falls from the sky. At first, you would think it's a bomb. It's a teardropped shape of dark mass. About 10 feet in diameter. But it lands with a sickening thud, splattering around the glowing blue barrier of the Soul Goblin adventurer, who strains under the weight being pressed against the shield. When it lands, there's no explosion, but rather a sickening thud of squelching liquid, and you see a sticky substance splatter all around the ground around him. You're not sure what it is in this low visibility environment, but the sound draws everyone's attention. You look back and you see an arm, human but emaciated, reach out and cling to the shield. And then another, and then another, and then another. A foot kicks at the barrier from above and from the side. 20 more arms, legs, strewn limbs in a wild tangle begin to flail rapidly as a gibbering, necromantic mess of combined body parts in an animated sphere come to life, grab the soul goblin by the ankle, rip his feet out from under him, and knock him on the ground. The barrier dissipates, his concentration broken, and it pulls him closer. Inside of its 15-foot reach of its limbs, There's only one other body part other than arms and legs on one of these things. And it's the dozens and dozens of mouths. A beast that cannot see and exists only to eat begins to assault the goblin. It will not be distracted for very long. Your mother screams in horror, grabs the two of you in her arms, and tries to get you to flee. Make an agility roll, please.
Agility. Come on, there we go. Click, agility, go.
A failure
And with hope.
Okay. A failure. Roll 1d6. 3. You pass your sister off to your mother, who quickly corrals the other children to move in one direction, closer to the crown pillar, where hopefully you can, if you're near enough the base, you can find more cover. Darting through alleys. But you trip and you fall. On an errant piece of rubble on the ground, distracted by the horror you just witnessed. And as you fall, you feel a gust of wind flow around you, and you feel yourself being buffeted almost by gale force winds that send you flying, pushing you away. You feel the wrap of telekinetic magic surround you, and you feel yourself being pushed towards your family. You get one good look as you spin through the air in a wild trajectory in the direction of your family. And you see the bloody body of the soul goblin, his hand outstretched towards you, having used his last gasp to get you further away from the monstrosity. Next, one more for you. I'm so sorry. As you rush forward, you see a potential for shelter. You see a small building, one of many that are like maintenance shafts that enter into small portions of the Crown Rise that are essentially meant for physically traveling up this pillar in the event of an absolute emergency. It's, 1,000 flights of steps, but perhaps you could hide in these stairwells if they'll let you in. But before you can make it there, there's something in the fog ahead, the black fog, that makes you nervous. And you're not sure what it is, but it seems thicker, more solid than normal. Let me see your stats here. Yeah, I'd like you to make an instinct roll, please.
Click, instinct, roll. 21 with fear.
Okay, that's an incredible success. But with fear... Reveal and unlock. Yeah, that's a good one. Ah, that chart's pretty cool. Okay. You realize instinctively that that's not fog. There's something in the fog that looks like fog. And you're pretty sure it's dangerous. It's giving you bad vibes, Paleo. What do? Your family is running headfirst towards it, not noticing what you've noticed.
Ooh. Again, you. Oh, I'm gonna turn down the music just a tiny bit.
Oh, yes. It's getting pretty intense. You have control over it.
Usual kobold instinct would always be man for himself, but it doesn't always react like that. So, is there? Oh God. Is there a large piece of metal that he can use to bang on to kind of get their attention? Because with all this stress going on, he's probably not verbal at the moment.
Nearby, a 2-story building, blown into chunks, go flying everywhere. And a molten piece of rubble scatters to the ground near you. Among lumber, rocks, stone, masonry, there is a chunk. It's hot, but there's a piece of metal.
I was thinking like a stick at least, and like banging a trash can to try to like get the family's notice.
Okay, that'll be a percent sense, navigate, control, tinker. I'll just have you make a fate roll. Make a fate roll.
As he is smacking on this thing, it just done. As he's getting a little too flustered with everything happening. Oh, that's a 2.
You make noises. You make loud noises as best as you can, although you're not able to articulate what is scaring you. As you fall behind and the rest of your family marches forward, your mother stops, turns, and sees you there. Paleo, what are you doing? Paleo!
As he's like desperately pointing, like thrusting his finger out, like that right there.
She turns back. Stop! Just a little too late. She screams, but as the others get closer, they notice that the fog in front of them is a poisonous yellow-green fog of about a 20-foot radius. Two of the members of your clutch, the fastest among your family, rush in to one of the more heinous acts that the Red Leaf were later tried for in the international courts. The unleashing of the Cloud Kill spell on civilian populations is one of the most heinous acts that have ever been committed by a foreign entity on Hyperborean soil. Your siblings march into the fog, choke, and cough, and the scales on their flesh melt almost instantly before the acidic presence of this necrotic magic. They collapse, writhing. Your mother, thankfully, by her own instincts and by your warning, catches the rest of your siblings and gets them to move around the cloud and further towards safety. I'm going to need you to make one last agility roll to catch up to them, having fallen behind to give them warning.
Agility. 15 with hope.
You catch up successfully. And as you rush forward towards your family, rejoining them, your mother still clutching your injured sister in tow. I know this is insensitive, but how many children are still alive? There were 10. There were 8. So you're 7 siblings and yourself.
Okay.
I hate to be callous, but those are the cold numbers of the butchery that just unfolded. Your 7 remaining siblings and you huddled together, rushing forward, and you start to notice more of these patches. It appears as though they are rolling down the central river and spreading out into the night's curtain, which means being here in the noble quarter is in this section of the noble quarter is very exposed to patches of this cloud kill magic. Now understanding exactly what she's looking for, together you circumnavigate most of this, but it starts to cut you off, circling around you. Here, there, you turn and you spot it more. Is that it? Or is that just night's curtain? It's starting to become dense enough that the light of the yellow-green poison is reflecting on the rest of the curtain, scattered, the light scattered by the rain, the thunder, still more bombing, airplanes overhead, gunfire. The chaos is beginning to completely eliminate your ability to discern where the cloud kill is with safety so close. There's finally a sound that's like a thundering boom, but it's not a bomb. Paleo, your vision goes black, and you cannot see anything. It's just you, standing in darkness. Distantly, you think still the rain and the thunder. The storm is becoming more clear, not less, as the rest of the world fades into the background. A voice resounds in your head. It's speaking to you, but it's low, grinding, and weak. You can't understand it. Actually, you can. You make out one word. Tempestavis. Tempestavis anale. And suddenly, something awakens within you. Your eyes shine with a brilliant light. And you feel for just this moment the soul of Avalon, the spirit of the natural world, offended by the death and desecration all around you, having nurtured the connection that had been growing inside you all your life, springs to life. And your druidic magic awakens. Paleo, in this moment, you are an untethered avatar of the raw power of nature. I'd like you to make a spellcast roll and tell me what nature tries to do to protect you.
Woof. How do I do the spell?
A spellcast roll?
Yeah.
Your spellcasting stat is listed on your, it's your instinct.
Oh, okay. So I just click instinct and roll
Yeah,
that?
you get an instinct roll.
Okay. Come on. Do the thing. There we go. Alright.
No. Okay. Your body, unable to control the absolute surge of magic within you, begins rapidly to transform and shift. First a velociraptor, then a triceratops, then a tyrannosaurus. You are shifting in and out from small kobold to enormous gargantuan beasts, and then only half of the beast, and then like a chimera of numerous dinosaurs. Your mother and your family look on in fear, wondering if some disease of the red leaf has infected you. But you call forth, everything stabilizes, and you cannot see what you've become, but it's enormous. Your arms are stretching out wide enough to envelop your family, wide enough to envelop Vinigovia, wide enough to envelop Avalon. You feel your mind expanding. You reach up into the sky. Tempestavis. And around you, in about 100 feet radius, an entire city block, the night's curtain parts. Revealing the night sky, the storms part, and the stars shine down brilliantly around you and your family. The cloud kill spells, like so much vapor, caught in a cyclone around you, evaporate. And you can see a clear path towards a structure in the distance. Your family looking up at you, they're so small, like ants. Run for cover. You're very large, and something strange is happening you don't understand, Paleo. What do you do?
Well, first and foremost is not step on anybody.
Sure.
Obviously, the world has shrunk down around him, and
Yeah,
he has
weird.
not gotten bigger.
That is how things work, sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Why is everything so small? What do you do when everything is small and there's so many scary things happening?
Ooh. Well, first we gotta find... There's still the gas clouds rolling around. There's still the planes up above.
There are planes above. They're kind of more like around you, weaving for safety, trying to avoid sudden collisions. Like, there are little... There's not planes, but there's like little insects. Maybe.
I take offense to all this.
Well, first, we have to do the thing that we've always been taught, and that's to find cover.
Of course.
And naturally, the closest source of cover is any roof around him, as he is going to pull the roofs off houses and cover himself. He is going to cover his head with any scaffolding that manages to stay in contact as he lifts them up. And he is going to try to find a better source of cover.
You go to grab a rooftop, and your right wing scrapes along numerous small little toy buildings. 10 or 12 rooftops come free from your long feathered arm. And you try to coat your head in them, and it's like a dog playing in the mud, trying to hide in dirt. The buildings aren't dense enough and large enough to cover how these little toy houses aren't big enough to cover how big you are, Paleo. But you're doing your best.
And obviously that is very upsetting, because it is outside the routine. So we're going to lash out.
So you lash out. You get upset. The rooftops are spicy, bitey. You don't like the sensations of all the poking, of the sharp bits of metal and lumber that are covering you. You thought these were supposed to make you feel safer, and instead they're itchy. And you fling them off, and you let out a cry, a roar. The roar fills the sky, and there's a boom. Glass shatters in a radius around you as you yell, and the storm obeys. Lightning rains down from the sky as the night's curtain begins to swirl and part further, there is now a half mile of clean air all around you in Elyaich for the first time in centuries. Lightning stretches forth from your maw, from the sky, from the earth, and begins zapping. Bzz, bzz, the insects swarming all around you as you lash out. Beneath the tempest of the wind, you're unleashing the rest of the cloud kill that still lingers in the city, disperses into the atmosphere, now not dense enough to be able to do much more than agitate one's skin. You scream and you scream. The storm continues to grow. A storm of vengeance, unabated. Your vision goes white, then black. And finally, all of the scariness stops as you fall into a dreamless sleep. When you awaken, you find yourself cuddled for cover under a big piece of oddly shaped stone. You feel like the world isn't so small and shrunken anymore. You feel like you're finally safe. You feel safe for the first time in a long time. Your family's never been able to do very well for themselves, but this feels comforting. This rock that you're under. You look around you and you see you're in a cavern. A shallow tunnel that ran near the surface, near the perimeter of the crown pillar, about halfway up. Fog, the night's curtain, ever present, now once again billows, hovering on the edge of the open entrance to this shallow 30-foot cavern, a small hollow. You peer out and you realize the ground is dozens of stories down. You're halfway up the pillar. You turn back. At the rock that you seem to have crawled under that made you feel safe. And you realize it's not a rock. It's a skull. It is. Let me get the name of this motherfucker right. It is the skull of a Styracosaurus. The upper jaw and skull, the lower jaw missing where you had been curled under. Its black, eyeless sockets feel like they're boring into you. And you feel the connection to the natural world is still there. But it's like a little trickle now. Not a flood. Not a overwhelming wave. Like whatever that just was. That made the world so small when you were so scared. And as you stare into those eyes, you could swear in the corner of your mind, the little back corner, you can still hear a voice. And this time the voice is just a little stronger. And it tells you, you will end us. And just like that, your recollection of that particularly the tragic in your moment in your life, one who still occasionally haunts your daydreams and your nightmares vividly, fades from your mind as we hop back to the present. Let me switch to the scene. Yep, there we go. Paleo. As you are stricken out of your reverie, you revert from your enormous, I forget what you were.
Oh, we were a Stegosaurus.
Oh, it won't let me move you. Where's the...
I need to refresh. All I got is a blank screen.
There you go. Suddenly, you transform back into your normal form. Dr. Bizarre?
Yes.
You recognize this, that look in Paleo's eyes.
Well.
Are you doing all right, Storm? Do you need a second?
My thing is just refusing to load. Oh, wait, hold on. Now everything's popping up. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Dr. Bizarre, you notice this. This is, this is, you know this site. This is why you have to hold Paleo's hands sometime when he goes to bed at night.
No. He'd,
He always
over.
says it's just to make sure you're still there.
No.
But you have a feeling.
He'd, step over now that he's not enormous. And, sort of kneel down by him and ask him, "You doing all right, little fella?"
You see him, he doesn't say anything, but he's just kind of there, just kind of rocking. He gets into these little stem moments where he is just kind of non-verbal, just kind of staring forward, and just kind of rocking himself while standing.
He'd, sort of pull open his, tail trench coat thing if he wants to tuck in there.
He holds on to it.
Alright. Just sort of drapes it around him a little bit, give him a little bit of a hidey spot.
He doesn't necessarily need a hidey spot, just something to hold.
No. Just sort of rest a hand on him and kind of curl his tail. Not like grabbing on him with it, but just sort of around him, protective like.
And he just kind of does that for a while.
Bringing us back to the end of last session, I'm gonna re-bring us in. I believe the very last thing that occurred was Weber and Tim, both of you, very perceptive, noticed that the door is open, cracked open, and not closed. You sense like something is in the room, and then Tim, I believe you have an arcane sense about you, yes?
Tim?
Oh, you're muted, Axe. Axolotl! Axolotl!
Yes.
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 I believe you have an arcane sense about you, yes?
Yes, I do.
And you used it.
Huh?
And you used it, if I recall.
I believe so? Let me just check the arcane sense. Objects within close range. It's just a passive.
Yep. Within close range, you notice that there's someone standing in the corner of the room, invisible.
He'll sigh. Oh, goodness. Okay, whoever's there, please stop hiding. I can sense your way. You're using some sort of illusion-based magic.
Well, that gave up the ghost rather more quickly than I expected. She slips a ring of invisibility off of her fingers. You know, this only has 3 charges per day. I expected to get a little more use out of that one.
Well, when you have someone who is a bit versed in the arcane, it's kind of hard to hide yourself with invisibility spells.
Are you the one that we were meant to be expecting, or?
You see before you a blue-skinned Atlan woman with long red hair in a deerstalker cap, brown cloak and coat and dress, with a signature magnifying glass of true seeing. She looks over each of you in turn. Each of you might recognize her. She was famous as a child as one of the disciples of the world's greatest detective, Alistair Smith. Posthumously, all 3 of his disciples now carry on his deeds, and you witnessed her solving a crime just earlier this week, even though that was like 2 months ago for you guys out of game. She's a local celebrity, and you would certainly recognize her, even if you've never met her before. But she looks over each of the 5 of you in turn, not immediately answering Dr. Bizarre's question about if she's the one hiring you or not. And I'm going to use Gwendolyn Ford's special ability. Each of you is within close range of her, and I'm going to spend 5 fear. 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys are familiar with the tropes of Sherlock Holmes? Well, guess what? Gwendolyn Fjord is sharp as a tack, and she is looking very carefully at each of you. In turn, I would like each of you to tell me one secret that Gwendolyn Fjord is able to discern about you based on looking at you, something you're wearing, something she researched about you before this. A secret that you wouldn't want her to know. She knows it. Dr. Bizarre, I'll start with you. What's a secret you wouldn't want Gwen to know that she figures out about you?
He is most certainly peddling concoctions heavily laden with alcohol.
Okay. Mark it down. Let me write this. Gwen.
So, any secret?
Which is
It's your-
legitimately
it's your
medicinal.
Dr. Bizarre. Honestly, just the smell of alcohol is enough to know.
It's not unusual for the time. This is very typical of normal medicinal drafts, but still.
In Prohibition time?
Especially in Prohibition times. That's how you sell it. It's medicine.
Yeah, no, there were doctors who regularly give people alcohol.
Alright, since you decided to speak up, Axolotl, what is a secret Tim Burns has that he would not want Gwen to know, that she immediately discerns about him?
Just any secret?
Yeah. It can even be one that would be implausible for someone to figure out by looking at you, because she's supernaturally good as a detective. So it's that classic Holmesian thing.
That's not classic Holmesian. That's modern Holmesian. I object.
She's doing the very modern trope, Holmesian trope. Go ahead. It's any secret, but it's one you wouldn't want her to know.
Well, I don't think you would want anybody to know this.
It's one you wouldn't want anyone to know. How about that?
Yeah. He occasionally sneaks some of the nitroglycerin he uses for fireworks by taking a sip because he heard it's good for your heart.
Eyes,
dear
pupils
Lord.
dilated. The viscosity of your sweat is different from normal.
If you really want to feel like you've been kicked in the chest by a horse.
Your heart rate increased, skin pale and flushed, agitatable demeanor. Weber.
Yeah, ask for a secret.
Weber.
Well, it hasn't come up yet, or it kind of has, but I feel like it keeps sinking away. So it probably would have something to do with Muffet, I think. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll just leave it open there.
You'll leave it open. She knows. If you don't decide, I will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want you to decide.
You know exactly 5 locations of where Miss Muffet lives.
She can tell you are secretly a Miss Muffet fanboy. She can tell that you love all of her music, and it infuriates you that you can't go to see a concert because you hate crowds and you hate people and you don't want to be in a room with 1,000 people in it. You don't want to be in a room with 5 people in it, let alone 1,000. But you so wish you could have a private concert with Miss Muffet. You have all of her albums. It's that kind of thing.
I just love everybody's fucking reaction to this.
Yeah, that's you fucking drink nitroglycerin, dude. I thought for sure it was gonna be about the arson thing, but no, he was like, I
You said
drink
any
nitro,
secret.
baby.
You said any secret, I'm like, okay, what's something I can make up for Tim? Oh, he drinks nitroglycerin because he heard it's good for your heart.
Fanboy. She immediately can tell that you. How can she tell that you like Miss Muffet? She notices that there's a small, like, piece of symbology. You know, one of those stealth things that shows you're a fan to other people who are fans, but normies can't tell.
Yeah, I
You know
guess.
that kind. You have something like that.
Maybe like some sort of hand gesture or something, or like I don't know.
Sure.
Oh, like a hobo coin?
What? Oh, okay,
You never
you're
heard
gonna
of that?
derail me,
Okay.
but I'm looking this up.
She notices that your Miss Muffet tramp stamp poking out from under your shirt.
Yeah, the markings on your body. Anansi often have tattooed markings on their body. But you have one that subtly hints at Miss Muffet. Only a truly shrewd and attentive person would figure it out, though.
Highly stylized MM.
Kalahand Zulthair. What is a secret that you wouldn't want anyone to know? But the detective Gwendolyn looks one look at you, spends a fear, and I immediately knows.
It's fat cock.
That's not a secret. Everyone knows about that.
Yeah, totally. It's part of being a courier.
Just wait for that backstory, buddy.
Uh-huh. No, he kind of crosses his arms and, like, looks at her. It's like, man, I hope she doesn't figure out that I have an inferiority complex.
He has an inferiority complex. Who is it that has given him his inferiority complex?
Oh, it's the reason he left home. He felt he was never good enough for working in the family business.
Complex.
So he picked the one career that, if you can get your way from A to B, you can't mess up.
Now, I hate to do this while you're going through PTSD stimming, Paleo, but I don't even think she really needs much effort to discover a secret about you right now that you wouldn't really want other people to know, but she does. So what is it?
Oh, obviously that is neurodivergent.
What a secret! Paleo is neurodivergent. You got a second one for me, maybe?
Jesus Christ.
He has trauma?
Yeah, that would be fine, because I'm going to assume
Yeah.
you don't really tell people about that.
Not really. No one's really asked.
Traumatic backstory.
Trauma.
I mean, fuck, you could probably regain that fear. It's not really that hard to tell.
Nope, it's okay. There's a reason I was hoarding that fear. It's part of her mechanic she has. Don't worry about it. It might not come up.
Honestly, knowing
Is
Paleo
it gonna come up? Is it gonna come up?
Well, that depends on what you guys do.
Is this a
Honestly-
blackmail thing?
honestly, knowing Paleo, I'm surprised that the secret wasn't like you were originally put in a psychiatric ward, because it is the 1920s and you are autistic.
I have been secretly taking bone measurements of each and every one of my companions.
That's funny.
I've been looking into making fuel out of my party.
I'm gonna
Doc-
put each of you on display.
She looks at each of you in turn. Dr. Bizarre, you're a long way from the carnival.
You could say that again.
Weber, I dare say both of the clans you've run away from are missing you. Is this the latest group you've chosen to throw in with?
I guess.
Timothy Kalahand, you don't even need to hide. I know about the bounties that are placed on both your heads for your alleged misdeeds. Yes, you are all of you known to me. And to answer your question, yes. I am the one that gathered you here all today. You're under arrest. Put your weapons down on the ground. Just kidding. a little detective joke. So sorry.
There's an audible scream. Just an uncontrolled scream from Paleo.
Out of character. You'll never take me alive, Copper. I've taken enough nitroglycerin to take down all of us.
He dies right there. His heart just explodes. His last firework is cardiac arrest. He's like, "You'll never take me alive." Dies.
Pretty much.
Paleo
Well,
screams
Hey,
louder.
to be fair, only she knows that.
Tucking Paleo behind himself a little bit protectively. Well, you're somewhat infamous yourself, madam.
The tall Atlan woman steps forward at Paleo's scream and kneels down to eye level with him. She doesn't look directly at him, not trying to make full eye contact and make him uncomfortable, but she says, "You know, when I was going through stressful situations, my father taught me a mantra. Do you want to try and repeat the words with me?
Oh,
They
God,
helped
you're
me
bringing
calm
up his-
down."
You're bringing up his dead father. Screams louder.
A quick question, Chips.
Yes.
Does she have like the smell of just constant opium on her?
She
Is
does
she a
not.
drug abuser, too?
She does not. That was
She's teen Sherlock.
she
Come
was
on,
more like
man.
the Watson. Well, the thing is, her dad had a drug problem, but that would make her not have it.
And
She'd
also,
be
to be fair, Sherlock didn't smoke it. He injected that shit.
Yeah.
Right with
Now,
no-
if if her brother Muggles does that, I'll leave that open to Storm. That's Storm's character.
Mr. Muggins?
Mr. Muggins, yeah.
A monkey on drugs.
He is a clean-veined monkey, thank you.
Thank fuck.
He is a reputable member
Nice.
of the Simeon
Like-
community.
Would you like your
Sorry,
focusing medicine, aka known as cocaine?
Now I have to decide if the third disciple is or isn't. Okay. Anyway,
That's
I mean
how
it's
he
the rule of
gets cases
threes,
done.
right? It's the rules of three, right?
This third one just does a shit ton of drugs and then wakes up from his bender with the case solved.
Hell yeah. But she looks down and she tries to teach you a mantra that Alistair Smith taught her to help focus her mind if she's trying to be mind controlled. And it's like a Buddhist mantra. It's like, may I be happy, healthy, and safe in body and mind. May I experience joy in every simple moment of life. I don't know if it works.
It does not. She is up in his space, even if she's not looking at him directly. She is in the comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
talking about a dead family member,
Mm-hmm.
and that is just making him even less comfortable as he begins to try to remove himself from the situation by eloping from the room.
post-traumatic stress. As you step out into the room, you spot two of the staff of Basingstoke.
Cleaning the wine.
Yeah, they're cleaning up blood. They're like squeegeeing blood and wine into drains. And they kind of look over nervous and jump when you come out, like, ah!
As this screaming, stemming kobold will make his way outside the mansion and back into the truck. The truck is a safe space.
Yeah, what? Yeah, you see a Damonel and a Soul Goblin who are squeegeeing, and they both look at you as you run on by.
The Soul Goblin.
God, the Soul Goblin! Oh,
Hey, I established
no.
this last time. I'm not even making that up to fuck with you. I went back to my notes to see what they were.
He stops screaming for 1 second to look at the Soul Goblin, and then is still screaming.
Hello. He waves hi. Hello.
As all the trauma comes back. Deep, uncomfortable feelings must remove self to Van.
And at that moment, the nice men in the white coat came to drag him away because this is Victorian England.
It's okay, I'm not a woman.
Take care.
One of the workers chases after you upstairs to go and tell the Viscount that one of the members of the meeting just ran screaming, and another one pokes their head into the room and is like, "Is everything okay in there? Is everyone dead?"
We're all right in here. Was he headed for the van?
Well, he was headed upstairs and yelling. He said something about safety, safe place.
I'm sorry, did you just say someone went chasing after him?
Well, chasing upstairs to tell Viscount.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I was about to say, you were just about to make things so much worse.
He could have perceived it that way, but...
Yeah.
But no, when he looks behind, it doesn't seem like anyone's following him. It seems like you are kicking up a bit of a storm as you rush out yelling. It's making the staff nervous.
I can't believe he's kicking up a storm.
Hey, that's their problem.
We're all right in here. Just make sure nobody approaches the van wherever we parked it.
That young man is troubled. But I suppose
But
we
he's
all...
odd.
Say it.
But he's odd troubled.
I apologize. And I fear I've not been minding my manners.
Yes, Storm?
He's our troubled.
He's our troubled.
Grammatically, that doesn't make any sense, but it's kind of flattering.
Well, not all coping mechanisms are translatable, I suppose, but it is a pleasure to be making the acquaintance of our current employer, I suppose.
Yes, I apologize.
It's alright, there were circumstances before he entered the room that, well, I think he maybe just needs a little bit of time to calm down, but, we've got a business to attend to, I suppose, and, obviously we'll fill in any comrades that require further filling in.
I arrived late, I'm afraid. I had another case that was delaying me, but was there violence before your meeting with our associate Alfred was the name he gave?
Oh, sure, you missed the entire, imposter vampire switcheroo business.
That's the 5th such case in the last fortnight.
You haven't been having some undead troubles then?
Oh. Paleo preserve me. Yes, I have. Just the other day, one of the big Rip gang was being it was like an imposter. I don't understand what's happening. On one level, there's the first mystery. Why are the vampires infiltrating different gangs and causing them to wage violence against one another, provoking gang wars, making them make outrageous strikes against law enforcement, provoking greater fighting between law enforcement and the gangs? Normally, this kind of subterfuge would be the result of the mystery. Ah, it's vampires causing trouble. Mystery solved.
And what was the second mystery that you were perhaps alluding to?
The vampires that operate in Elyage are known as the true nobility. They are an aristocratic cult who wish to restore undead rule to the nation of Vinigovia, as it was in the Shadow days, when the Night's Curtain was conjured. They are very exclusive in who they ascend to their ranks. They consider every vampire to be part of the nobility. It is not in their modus operandi to choose random people in different gangs to cavort, to resort to subterfuge on this level. They would...
So, you're saying they're converting gang members rather than inserting themselves into gangs?
Exactly. And that doesn't match their modus operandi at all. Well, at least not up until now.
Well,
It's concerning.
I don't claim to be anything resembling a detective, madam, and I'm certainly not a native to this land or particularly familiar with the particularities of its history, but, well, I'd say if some sort of predatory agents are making a sudden switch in their behavior, it mayhaps might be out of some sort of desperation. And, well, there's certainly been a bit of an upset in the criminal sorts most recently on account of apparently the uncovering of this vault you in particular are so interested in. And, well, I'm maybe just musing that there mayhaps might be some sort of connection, considering all the criminals are awfully up at arms about this, and maybe there's something in there that the vampires are interested in. Just my musings, mind you.
As you muse, she assumes a habit whenever she's thinking quite hard. One finger to one of her temples, her eyes and face scrunched up, nibbling on her magnifying glass. Oh, right. I'm so sorry. The heist. The reason we're all here today. I'm afraid I get distracted rather easily whenever a new case rears its ugly head.
I figured we'd get around to it eventually.
Perhaps we should all have a seat? Or do you all want to stand around dramatically?
I think
Well,
the seat will do as well.
The pews will do, I suppose.
She
Unless you
demurely
had a-
comes over and sits down on one of the pews.
Has a seat.
All right. Where to start? I'm taking it Alfred filled you in on at least the surface level details of what you are meant to steal and why you are meant to steal it.
The contents of a vault containing the spoils of a certain mystical thief.
The Phantom Thief. The titular Phantom Thief, yes.
Sure.
Whatever relics he stole are... Actually, it goes deeper than that.
Well, it seems a fairly simple concept that such things would be preferred not in the hands of various groups of criminals.
Yes, it would be convenient if I allowed you to continue to assume this was a simple matter. But I will not do that. A lie, even by omission, is unbecoming of a detective who seeks the truth in all things.
There's some ulterior motives at play.
Maybe. Where to begin? I have assembled a wealth of information that I'm willing to provide to you, provided you 5 are willing to, or 4 rather, are willing to trust me at my word.
I assure you Paleo will be filled in at a later time when he's feeling more fit to be involved in these things.
Okay. So, let's begin. There are 3 phases to this infiltration. The infiltration of the manor, the infiltration of the Black Auction, and the infiltration of a Shadow Vault. 3 tiers of obstacles for you to overcome. And there's a moth in my bedroom. What? Go away. Go away.
Can you say the second and third again?
The infiltration of the Merrymore Manor, the infiltration of the Black Auction, and then the infiltration of the Shadow Vault. You will need to... First, I need to explain why the manor is your entry point. She takes out a notepad. Let's go from the top here. Have you heard about the gala?
Nope.
Maybe, but it feels a bit like it's been a month since we've been waiting for you to arrive.
Surely Alfred mentioned the charity gala.
Quite possibly.
He did not. He did not.
Not that I recall.
to help you roleplay your character. No, he did not. No doubt the fop assumed you would have already known about the event of the season, as they're calling it. Okay. There is an organization that researches incurable and indecipherable diseases.
There would almost assuredly be some sort of sign to a very, very good detective that he's especially interested in this subject.
And the
I'll give you that one for free.
And the Anglican Church. The Anglican Church is spearheading a fundraising effort in order to promote the well-being of all the denizens of Avalon. It's to be an enormous event with all sorts of artists, politicians, nobility, celebrities, scientists, journalists, poets, philosophers, religious perfunctories, foreign dignitaries will be in attendance.
Well, at least they'll be having one type of people who will make a difference.
All
And
meant
this is taking place at the Merrymore Place.
it is being held. Previously, it was being held at a local event center, a grand event center in the Noble Quarter. But just 5 weeks ago, before the event was to be held, the location was suddenly moved to Merrymore Manor on the Crown Rise, citing increased profile of the notoriety of the guests, needing more space, they said.
More security, I assume.
I can't help but wonder why this grand event was moved directly above where the Trove is located 5 weeks ago, around the same time that I first heard word it had been discovered. Another mystery. The point is, yes, there is a grand social event that will be occurring at Merrymore Manor on the very day, if my moon clock is correct, that the Shadow Vault will reveal itself once again. A funny coincidence, wouldn't you say?
Most certainly.
I have attempted, with no success, to locate a secondary means of egress to the Shadow Vault. If you could reach the Black Auction safely, in some way other than through this gala, I fear I would have found it already in the time I had spent preparing this information. I'm sorry I didn't hire you and share it sooner, but I cannot afford for information about this plan to get out. So I wanted to reveal the cards I've been keeping close to my chest as late as was realistic. The gala is in 3 days. You will have 3 days to prepare what resources you 5 need in order to successfully carry out the plan. I hope that's not too short notice.
I'm sure we'll make do.
Figure out
We're
something.
we're awfully resourceful folks.
It would take too long to burrow through. There are sealed and collapsed passages winding through the crown pillar, but with the current seismic activity that happened recently, I don't think it's safe currently to try to circumnavigate the inner workings of the pillar. You're very likely to die in a cave-in.
I think I'd prefer the society method anyhow.
I believe Alfred was meant to provide you all with pieces of equipment that would aid you in your escapade.
The means by which we might retrieve said vault.
So long as they are not in the hands of... Oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The gala first, the Black Auction second, the Shadow Vault third. Yes, in order of operations. Let us remain speaking about the gala. What would you like to know?
Well, a means of receiving an invitation would certainly be handy to this Merrimore place.
Invitation is... I am, unfortunately, required to be in attendance as a guest and will be remaining at the event while you do your business.
Not the socialite type.
No. No, I don't like the... I mean, I like the attention when I'm revealing a mystery. I won't have false modesty about my intelligence, but the books, the radio plays, the interviews, they get in the way of the work. I don't care for it.
Sure. You certainly seem to have a means of entry so far, but I'm less certain about the rest of us at this point.
Attending as +1s with me is out of the question. In the event that your cover is blown, I cannot afford to have your activities connected to mine. It would be a great detriment to society at
naturally.
large.
We need not associate with each other, I'm sure, but surely you have some information on how we might receive our own invitation. Or some other means of egress if formal way is not possible.
That will be... I could pull some strings to get an invitation sent to someone who is plausibly reputable, but...
Well,
you would have to assume an identity of some sort. I don't know if that's something you're good at.
well, I personally, at the moment, have a certain backlog of research and certain incurable diseases, which certainly seems to be relevant to this gathering from what you've said.
Poses a researcher. Well, the staff themselves would be aware of everyone on their team. You couldn't be a local researcher, but given your
Do I
accent...
sound like a local to you, ma'am?
A foreign researcher of medicine. I mean, it's not exactly a lie if my research into your life is any indication.
And we do have a nice truck in order to pull it off.
You're going to deliver milk to the event of the season? Wait, but of course, the purity dictate. They won't be serving any alcohol at the event. It's still illegal.
You know, milkshakes.
I was going to suggest you pose as guards using that corrupt associate of yours. Lamplighters are going to be on staff watching the event. The usual security for the Merrimore Manor are not up to snuff, so to speak.
But who wouldn't come out for a nice milkshake?
What's that about the security being a little lax?
They're eccentric. All of the Merrimore clan are artificers, other than one black sheep. All of them inventors. They have, their staff is exclusively these peculiar men and women, short of stature with gray skin like clay. What did they call them? Homunculi.
Huh. Interesting.
You wouldn't be able to impersonate one of their staff easily. You would have to be 3 feet tall and gray.
Yeah, perhaps the invitation is the more viable access.
Yes.
And these Merrimore folk, is there anything of interest to them specifically?
I mean, what isn't interesting about the Merrimore family? They have they're an extended family. I don't think you could... Well... distant relative? I know that there's the head of the household, Duke Merrymore. He's the one who invented the modern interpretation of the radio that we have today. And his name brand of Merrymore Merrymakers of the eponymous radio of Vinigovia. Although I don't think they're so common outside of Hyperborea. There are the twin sons, Merrick and William Merrymore. They are young scions in their early 20s. One of them, I think, interns at a place called the House of Gears.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I don't know. There's numerous. There's numerous members of the family. There's aunts, cousins, uncles, brothers, sons, daughters, mothers, grandmothers, great-grandaunts.
Well,
All of them have achieved some scientific achievement that revolutionized some aspect of technology in Avalon.
Well, I suppose we don't need to receive a personal invite from the Merrymores to achieve entry to this gala specifically.
No,
my own
the Anglican
re-
Church, and I believe, is organizing things.
I mean, my own research is a little bit obscure, is my main concern, and I assume none of the Merrymores personally require any poultices for rheumatoid or other such tonics.
I have, as a figure of public renown, I have some small influence with other well-doers in the city, like Sir Alexander. I could maintain plausible deniability by encouraging a invitation to an intelligent researcher from across the sea. Ah, but you are Thulian, yes?
Yes.
Perhaps you could have come here to see the star of the charity gala? The concert?
Whom exactly is that?
The rising star, the Thulian idol who came across the sea to spread her music. Little Miss Muffet, they call her.
Not
She
what
eyes
much of
Weber.
I'm not opera stars.
Opera? No, she sings some new kind of music that I'm unfamiliar with. It's
I'm more of a
upbeat.
jazz man myself.
Yes. Yes, jazz, that's what they call it. Well, all I'm saying is, you're Thulian, she's Thulian. You both have that charming drawl.
Is that so? Well,
There's some kind of connection there that you could try to create.
I suppose I could look into this, Miss Muppet, madam.
Muffet.
Right, Muffet.
Right. It's after an old play, an old children's rhyme here in Vinigovia. You wouldn't be familiar with it.
No, I suppose I wouldn't.
Let me see. Have that. Infiltration of government. There are, once you do get into the gala, you will need to find the way down into the maintenance shafts, into the tunnels beneath the Crown Rise. I know they exist, but the exact precise location is a mystery to me. I'm afraid the floor plan to the Merrymore Mansion is terribly out of date.
Would this be a passage that the Merrimores themselves might be aware of? On account of it being their mansion?
Indeed it would.
Well, I have a certain talent for ingratiating myself with folk. Potentially a tour at some point might reveal certain egresses to underground.
Here's what I have. And she takes out out of a large roller a floor plan and lays it out on the altar there for everyone to see. Let me see if I can.
I do have a small metatextual side question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Based upon my memory of a conversation a month ago, which may or may not be accurate or even real, were you saying something about the Merrimore patriarch, maybe, or something, having certain medical issues in which I could have potentially been assistance for?
Yes, there is, in fact, a great uncle who has a
Persistent dizziness issue?
a persistent dizziness that does not end. There's a fantabulous contraption that they've designed to try and stabilize the feeling in his. It's better seen than described. It's
So are we back in
bizarre. Like many things in their clockwork marvel of an estate, the contraption that the man lives in is interesting.
If this is a canonical revelation, then...
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. Well, I have potentially some means of assisting in just such symptoms. Perhaps that could be a way in which I might ingratiate myself with these Merrimore folk.
Good. So you have a way to get in their good graces and get some information. You need to construct a good way to get in. I can give you more ideas, but in the end it will be up to you to secure entry into the manor. Understand? And you need to not raise an event. I'm sure there are more questions on your mind right now. Go ahead, ask it. I'm the one that picked you five.
Well, I am less concerned personally about matters of the above-ground mansion dealings, just because it feels fairly comfortable for me personally to be dealing with rich folk and hobnobbing and whatnot. However, once we get into the underground, I'm a little less certain of what we'll be encountering and our way forward.
Okay,
Just sort
I'm
of
sorry, I
pathwise.
What about the rest of you?
I spaced out so hard. Where the fuck are we?
This is the floor plan of the Merrimore Manor. You are looking at the blueprints of it right now.
I'm sorry, I think I partly fell asleep because
What?
I
Bruh.
sorry.
Hey, it's okay.
It's
You're
not
here
because
now.
of the session, it's because I only got like 4 hours of sleep last night.
We'll be cutting it off pretty soon.
Okay.
We're
But-
making heist plans,
But right now we're making heist plans.
and there's a map
There are
for
three
heist
tiers.
planning.
There are 3 tiers to this. We're dealing with the first layer, which is you're infiltrating a charity gala in which many famous people will be attending at the Merrimore Manor up on the Crown Rise. Big population, big event, everyone there, and it's the only way to get down into those tunnels that's going to lead to where the Black Auction is happening and where the Shadow Vault is. And right now, if you have any questions to ask her about things she has discovered about the manor or things about the manor that you need to know, now's the time to ask. And she's asking the rest of you because it seems like Dr. Bazaar is satisfied with what he knows. and he's willing to improvise and plan himself for the rest of this. But if you and Kalahand, if Tim and Kalahand and Weber have any questions about the manor right now, the manor infiltration, ask away.
Is Muffet's
This
going
is
to be
more,
performing in the manor?
Yeah, in a grand hall.
Huh.
Indeed.
This is more out of character. Is there a reason for the black squares?
So, you ask it in character, because they are black
Well,
squares.
Okay, I
This is
didn't know if
literally
they were
a
actually
map
in
that's
character.
laid out on the floor.
Yeah, it's
On
like
the
laid
altar.
out on the altar.
So, what's the reason for the black squares?
Property renovation. So the Merrymore Manors are insufferable, non-stop renovators and inventors. Because they're so rich and influential, they can flaunt all sorts of regulation that the rest of us would have to go through if we wanted to create renovations on our estate, on our buildings. They have changed things so frequently that none of the labels for these rooms are any accurate anymore. And there's an additional wing that has been parasitically attached to the eastern side of the building, or northeastern, rather.
Huh, that doesn't sound like something that happened in today's world.
They call it he calls it, the Duke Merrymore invented it, and it's called the Dial-A-Room Modular Furnishing System. It's like a bunch of rooms on a carousel that can attach and detach themselves from the eastern side of the building.
The
Calling
dial-a-room
up-
modular system, you said?
Yes, the Dial-A-Room Modular Furnishing System. In other words, there are a bunch of rooms, and you can call on a panel for them to attach to the house or detach and descend into the subterranean pillar.
Darn?
Huh. Reminds me of a mad municipals heiress that I consulted with at one point.
Indeed. So there are
Reminds me of a Jetson room.
more than a dozen wings of this mansion, although only a couple are accessible at any given moment. The others are being repaired or renovated down in maintenance tunnels beneath. I suspect those maintenance tunnels might be one of the avenues you can pursue. Although you want to gather more information, yes?
Information I assume you do not have at this point.
I did my best. I'm very busy.
It's
Understandable.
alright, it's alright.
Let me see here. I want to make sure we've covered everything. Oh, right, of course. we brushed upon a subject and didn't broach the main thing of it. So, when the location of the gala was mysteriously moved, I chased down who decided upon that. Was it someone in the church? That's what I suspected initially. But I discovered one of the researchers suggested this location in a meeting 5 weeks ago, a council meeting that was on public record. So I have the name of the fellow who publicly proposed the move of locations. If you, like me, believe the relocation of this event was suspicious, then the person who proposed it must be likewise suspicious.
Certainly.
I have a name. Jorah Hartfell.
I don't suppose you have any background to go along with it.
He's not of noble stock. He's a brilliant young researcher at the one of the universities, studying a thesis on some obscure disease or another.
Some obscure disease or another. Nothing more specific than that.
I can pull up his thesis paper. Hold on. I didn't
I'd
bring all of my
appreciate it.
files with me. I could have it sent to your abode.
I'd appreciate
like.
that deeply. Considering this fellow may be the mastermind behind this relocation.
Indeed.
The thesis does take some of the heart and soul of a person.
Very well. I will make sure it is delivered to you. Let me mark that down. You will receive the thesis of Jorah, one of the thesis papers, or at least the notes of a thesis paper by Jorah Hartfell.
Is there a paywall?
Hartfell. Thesis for Bizarre. Okay.
Do I
Mark
need
it
a
down.
Sci-Hub account?
You do not need a Sci-Hub account. ChatGPT, what is the what is Jorah Hartfell researching? Oh, he's researching poopy butt.
Oh, it's only a $300 paywall to read his thesis.
Yeah. A Reddit comment. The AI pulled a Reddit comment and fed you misinformation.
Guess I won't be citing him.
No, the $300 is for the sample.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I just had to do my capstone, and I have a lot of feelings.
You know, a lot of doctors, a lot of people just
I know
their
you
stuff
can
might be
personally
paywalled.
contact
Yeah.
them, and they will send it to you, but there's not time. There's not enough time.
It's an industry. It's an
We
industry.
have like 3 days. Also, he's probably a criminal.
Well, lucky for you, Gwen already has it. She just wasn't sure if you would be interested in that information.
Of course I'm interested. I am a man of science.
It's almost like it's an industry that demands networking.
Scientists? Networking? What?
That we're talking about doctors. Never mind.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
same
Never
difference.
mind.
You suppose what?
I'm surprised none of you asked why I'm working with you in the first place, instead of just calling the authorities.
Desperation? The desire not to have the things in the vault absconded with by the church? Perhaps a personal interest in some of the contents? I was making assumptions.
Chaos. You understand? Sir Alexander will be in attendance. One of the most powerful men in all of Avalon.
Right.
If he found out that almost every criminal of note in Eliach was beneath his nose, it would turn into all-out war. The collateral damage to the civilians of the city would no doubt inadvertently become catastrophic. He would not listen to reason. He would assault them directly.
Oh, well, bless his poor soul. Better he continue on in ignorance, I suppose. Ignorance and power.
That's why this has to be done quietly, in a way in which he does not discover what is happening. Understand? Secrecy is of the utmost importance in this first phase of the plan.
Oh, certainly most understood. I will say that I am certainly able to be discreet.
Even if you are discovered, please do not mention the black auction to anyone. I will do what I can to free you.
That'd be appreciated, certainly.
But only as a last resort.
I think I have sufficient confidence to feel we won't be caught at that level of infiltration. Again, I'm more concerned about when we get underground personally, but if we have any more questions about the surface.
All right.
Anybody? Nobody?
Does anyone else have questions about the charity gala for St. Gisella's Hospital Research Department and the scholarships for the advancement of medical science and restorative magics, the MSRMs?
I have more of a question just in general.
Yes.
Who's going to be the one to tell Paleo about all this?
Not yet.
I will relay what he needs to know. Don't worry about it.
Gwen actually gets it. Not it. Listen, I tried. I'm no good with children, I think.
He's not a child. He's a valuable member of this group.
How old is Paleo, really quick?
That's a good question.
It's probably I've been guessing early 20s, around Simon's age, probably. But he could be younger.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'd say probably around Simon's age in Cobalt years.
Yeah.
So,
That's
Like
also,
7,
I
like-
guess I should say, also Gwen's age.
I think he's
Kobolds
like
in
20.
Avalon actually lived to 120.
Oh, never mind.
I think it's like 20 in my like in his 20s in my year.
Okay.
Exactly.
My
He's
apologies.
not a child. Anyhow, none of the rest of you have any questions about the infiltration of the gala itself, and I am personally assuming you all will be disguising yourselves as my entourage of some kind while I deal with all of this, seeing as that it is my personal forte to deal with the rich and in need of some sort of cure or reassurance. So, again, I'm not as concerned about this portion as the later portions.
And I will say this. I know we're deep into it, but I will say this. You guys need to keep note of your plan. I'm not going to write down your plan for you.
Yeah. I am somewhat confident in step 1 gala.
Step
cool
1,
with that.
infiltrate gala.
I'm cool with keeping track of that, of orchestrating that, of organizing everybody in the doing of that. As long as she can get me in, I'll get everybody else in. But, again, the underground is more my concern. However, I would like to jump the gun slightly, if I may.
Yes.
And speak about the Shadow Vault and its contents for a moment.
Very well. We'll jump to the third step, the Shadow Vault.
Now, I understand we're already receiving a certain amount of compensation for this entire heist from, I assume, both yourself and our contact, which prospected us for you. However, I do have a very particular interest in certain rumors of the contents of this vault, if I may be somewhat revealing of my own personal motivations.
The contents of the vault. Yes.
Now, I understand that I am working purely on rumors and possibly nothing but fantasies. However, I am sure you understand, considering my current criminal position.
You want the Holy Grail for your wife. She looks dead and center in your eyes.
Fiancé.
Fiancé. Sorry, the Dungeon Master is very forgetful.
What's the dungeon
Well,
master?
I am glad you are pre-informed of these things so that I need not get into too much detail.
I'm afraid I had to spend just as much time making sure the 5 of you were the right fit for this job, as I did researching the defenses.
Your confidence is appreciated and flattering, madam, but my question remains, which I hope you can fill in for yourself. I do not know if this exists whatsoever, but rumors is rumors, and I am interested.
I can confirm that many relics were in reality stolen by the Phantom Thief from across the world in a globe-trotting spree of crime that began in Elyich, but eventually spread to the four corners of Avalon.
Again, madam,
yes,
the histories and particulars do not interest me. I am only seeking a perhaps promise that I might receive a certain item if it exists in this vault.
she looks frustrated. She looks down and she says, "This is the part I'm not entirely happy about. Suffice to say, the contents of a shadow vault are technically legally protected historical artifacts, according to the Crown. In addition,
And you are receiving this vault in a not particularly legal matter.
In addition, the Church would lay claim to the contents of the vault if they were divine in nature. Additionally, if the contents of the Shadow Vault belonged to ancient Anansi, they too might be able to lay claim to the objects inside. So the problem with all that is that you do not have the legal right to any of those objects, and I won't be down there watching you. So,
Understood, madam.
do as you will. I trust you will obey all of the laws that you possibly can in the situation."
Oh, certainly. All the ones that I possibly can.
She sighs. As for the contents of the vault, the defenses, it's a total grab bag. I've heard stories of shadow vaults having automaton defenses, weapons of war, ancient creatures preserved within, traps, puzzles. It's like one of those classic adventure stories. You know, with the fighters and the wizards and the rogues of the old days. As for the reality of what actually awaits inside a Shadow Vault, that is a total mystery. The contents of the vault, yes, they likely may be able to help you. And frankly, I hope they can, but just be forewarned, the job isn't over once you get inside. Anything else about the Shadow Vault, or can we move to the Black Auction?
Well,
The location, the conditions around it, I know something of them.
Well, my understanding is that you would prefer the entirety of the vault to be brought into your possession.
I prefer if its contents were brought into my possession. Or rather, brought into Alfred's possession, I believe.
Well, these contents sound somewhat multitudinous. Is the equipment you've given us capable of conferring a great variety of items?
Everything within a given space. He wasn't clear about the exact physical limitations of this prototype emergency exit.
I suppose I have been heretofore imagining us stamping these tools upon some sort of large bank vault or a safe of some kind, but
The donation location has already been determined. All you have to do is use these devices to determine the outer bounds of what's being teleported, and then activate it.
right.
And you will be taken to some predetermined location by Alfred.
So some circumference of the treasures within would be sufficient to take it all along.
Precisely. You need to fit everything within a field, along with yourselves. And then push the button.
All right. I suppose
Really
then
simple,
entering
I
will
think.
be an. I suppose then entering said vault with unknown defenses will be an inevitability.
Yes, I'm afraid you will have to enter into a dangerous vault of legend and deal with the dangers within.
Yeah, well, and I suppose the entry of said vault is as much obfuscated to you as it is to the rest of the criminals.
I have reason to believe that there may be a clue to the location of the Shadow Vault somewhere in Merrymore Manor. Poke around. I know those busybodies must have explored the tunnels beneath their manor estate during the construction of their maintenance shafts. Look for something unusual, like some gap in their knowledge, or in their maps of the underground tunnels. It'll be something that they couldn't perceive. When the moon comes out and the Shadow Vault reveals itself, you should be able to see it.
Do you not believe these Merrymores to be directly involved in the criminal dealings that are apparently about to occur beneath their mansion?
I have highly considered the idea. I've investigated Duke Merrymore. There were concerns about labor practices, but his record is seemingly clean.
Well,
I wish I had more.
on
for
the
you.
record.
Off the record?
Hmm.
Yes, he's been up to some no good, but nothing so evil as a criminal conspiracy to create a shadow empire. He's no Daedalus Descartes, okay?
I assume that's another local of yours.
She stares at you. He killed my father.
Oh.
My condolences.
He was the blackest criminal mastermind to ever walk the surface of Avalon. He and Mr. Swift went tumbling down a waterfall and plunged to their deaths. He was a black dragon who preferred his humanoid form, his wings clipped in the end. Suffice to say, he's no more, and neither is father, which means I'm left to clean up messes like this.
Well, let's consider the criminal element then, I suppose. The one in which I am the least confident in dealing with, and
Okay. Before we get
Black
into the criminal element, I want to ask if everyone wants to stop for the night and do the criminal element and the planning next time, or continue learning all the information and do the prep next time.
Next time, please.
I figured you were all getting pretty tired.
I'm meeting up.
It's
with
about
Doing
sleepy
my
time.
Huh?
What was that, Kalahand?
It is about the sleepy time.
It is about the sleeping time. I wanted to cut it at 12:30. This is as close to a natural point as there will be.
Cool.
Unless we barreled through another like. This is the big part. The part with sneaking by a bunch of nefarious criminals watching for the moment the Shadow Vault appears will be tricky indeed for your group. So.
We'll do the planning next time then.
All right. So next time on Avalon, a Vinigovian heist, our five will receive further information. The rest of the information that Gwendolyn Ford has to offer this desperate ragtag group, and they will begin their 3 days of preparation in which they will be able to influence the narrative and give themselves all the advantages they possibly can in order to overcome this most daring of escapades.